Welcome to the meditation session. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dhamma, and homage to the Noble Sangha. Today meditation is about greed, hate and delusion. You can see greed molds itself by means of the agreeable object. Hate molds itself by means of the disagreeable object. Delusion molds itself by means of the neither agreeable nor disagreeable object. So let us go through this first path, that is the greed path. First we have this agreeable object, and then the contact to be felt as pleasant, and then the pleasurable feeling. Approach with joy arises, and then the lust arises. Sensual desire thinking arises. Lust-born fever arises, constructed characteristic of arising arises, painfulness in change arises. How are we going to understand this Dhamma? For you to understand this one, you need to think about that the mind-made body scenario. You see, I said that those people who are going to be born in hell, they are gone, and the animal realm, they are gone as well. Now let us focus on these people that who wanted to be born as a human being. You are a human being. So then this person want to find a place, a father, mother and so on. So he is going here and there, looking for a place to be born. And then that person sees a man and a woman having these sexual acts, doing sexual acts, with their birth clothes. So that one becomes the agreeable object, and then that is the contact to be felt as pleasant. So the pleasurable feeling come to arise for that person. He approached that place with joy. He is happy to be there and look at those things. Then the lust arises to that person, and the sensual desire thinking arising. That is, he wanted to do what the other two are doing. And then the lust-born fever arises. He is burning with lust. So as soon as that man get out of the woman's body, this person go and grab hold of that woman's body. So that is this constructed characteristic of arising, uppada sankata lakkana. So you are in that, that a tissue, if you take, just pull it, and it is coming very quickly, like that one, that you see something inside that womb, and then you are straight away absorbed into that one. Get it absorbed into this mother's womb. And you may be thinking that, that it is not like that one, it is the mother-father sort of scenario. It was not the mother-father scenario over here, it is just a man and woman scenario. And absorbed into this mother's womb. So, there are rules. Not everyone can go into any person's womb. And there are some certain rules. Also when they are matching, then they are actually creeping. And man is doing this one as well as the woman is doing the same thing. Man is thinking about the woman and grabbing hold of the woman's body. A woman is thinking about the man and grabbing hold of that woman's body. So that is the constructed characteristic of arising. Now what happened over here is that, that those blue films, when people watch those things and police caught them, they put you in jail. Now here, there is no police. So it's just you yourself went to the jail. It is 10 months jail. So if it is 10 months, it's okay, but it is not 10 months. There is this gatha that says that Satancheva Sahasana Kappan Sansarisati, that we roam in samsara, that many thousand eons. Atavapi tatoviya gabba gabba gamisati. Out of that one, most of the time, we have been to a womb, gabba, gabbas. I can tell you, for 34 great eons, that I have been born to one mother's womb countless times, not to speak about all the other mothers. So if it is for 34, it is countless. Now, if you are roaming in samsara for many 100,000 eons, you can say it is infinite. Then you multiply infinity by 10 months. Then you can see infinite time you have been to this animal womb or mother's womb. You can see when someone is going to animal womb that other creatures come and they eat both the baby as well as the mother. So then you are going back to another womb again and again. So the rest of this gatha is also really nice. It says, Anupadaya Buddha Vachanam, not taking Buddha's words. Sankaro Attatu Upadaya, taking volitional formations as mine. Dukkha Santam Karissanti, that the ending of this suffering, Tana Metanna Vijjati, it does not come to realize that ending will not be there. So, by not taking Buddha's words, what sort of volitional formations that we took as mine? You see that there was this father, there was that man and the woman. And then you go and grab hold of that woman's body, means sexual misconduct. So, we all have done sexual misconduct at least one time. That is the moment that you are going to mother's womb. And not only that one, no mother wrote down in a piece of paper somewhere, this particular womb is for that boy, that girl who passed away from that particular place, or that man or that woman. So we are taking what is not given. That you are going inside the mother's womb and hold into that sperms. So that is taking what is not given, stealing. So we have done the stealing. That is the biggest stealing that you have done in your life. So by taking those volitional formations as mine, then the ending of suffering will not be there for you. So this is Dhamma, the agreeable object. Those two people are there, contact to be felt as pleasant, and the pleasurable feeling come to arise. You approach with joy, and then the lust arises, sensual desire thinking arises, and the lust-born fever arises, and then you have the constructed characteristic of arising. You go and grab hold of that woman's body. And then what you get is painfulness in change. That is, in Pali is called Viparinama Dukkhata. When you are born, then you are subject to aging. So painfulness in change is there. So the person who entered the mother's womb, you normally think that the aging started after the birth. It is not like that. You see, we are like a cloud. How does a cloud form? The dust particles, and then the water, moisture is accumulated. More dust, more water. And then it becomes heavier and heavier, and then it will fall. So likewise, you went to the mother's womb, hold into the sperm over there, and then it matured, and then you can see you are old and you are, collapsing one day. So your aging started when you went into mother's womb, not when you were born, starting from the point. So the person who went through this first path, now he is going through the second path. That is the disagreeable object. Well, you can understand the mother's womb is not a good place, isn't it? There isn't any sunlight even in that place. So that's a disagreeable object. Then there is this contact to be felt as painful. And then the painful feeling come to arise. Imagine you are in some sort of a dark room. You can't even go anywhere. We want to see sunlight. We always, even in the office, we want to get out of the office. Outside it is sunny and I want to have a walk or something. So now you are inside this place. No, there's even light in that room. So you have this approach with grief. Previously you had the approach with joy. Now you can't go anywhere, so approach with grief. And then the hate arises. For this one I can tell you a story that one person in Sri Lanka, that person's, last few years, that person meditated very heavily, want to get rid of this, sansara. But that person could not end it. And then that person went to be born in far away place, because that person was in Colombo. That Colombo, these Buddhists are declining. Now they say it's only 30% Buddhists are there. So that person born in far away place, and when that mother is going to temple, this person is happy and would like to stay inside the mother's womb. And when that person is going to, mother is going to, places where they are drinking alcohol and so on, this person does not want to stay, want to get rid of, want to go away. If that person is going away, then the baby won't be born. So they can go. You see this, that from the mind-made body, they can go and out of this one and come back in as well. So those things like, 7 days alms giving, 3 months alms giving and sort of thing makes sense as well. Because within 7 days, most people are panic and then go into this mother's womb. So some people can sort of participate in alms giving and then go. And even the 3 months alms giving is also valuable in the sense that some people can come and participate in the alms giving and then go as well. There are instances where people are afraid because somebody else, if I leave this mother's womb, someone will come and take my place, so I don't get a place. So there are these 4 guardian gods, sometimes help them if they know that you go and participate in this thing. He doesn't have to, but it makes him happy or something. So and then we will protect the mother's womb for you. So those things are important. After 5 months or so, that person can't sort of go away and coming back sort of scenario. I mean, natural death can occur, but moving out will not occur. So because the baby is now growing little by little inside the mother's womb, the hate arises because this person, the mother is going to bad places. I don't want to be staying there. Sort of scenario arises. So and then we get the ill will thinking arises, and the hate-born fever arises. Dosati parilaha. And then we get the constructed characteristic of alteration that which stands. Now you can see this one, something to do with this painfulness in change at the first place. Because if you are subject to aging, then the alteration is there. Then not only that, and now Think about the mind-made body scenario. The mind-made body can travel, Brahma world or whatever places it can travel. Now this person can't travel because inside the mother's womb. So the alteration of that which stand is there because of that as well. And then what we get is painfulness as pain. You begin with the pain and you are ending up with the pain. In the next meditation you would sort of learn this one in this Dhamma, that physical nutriment as the physical nutriment contacting, you get the end result would be the pain. The pain contacted by the mind, what you get is a sadness. So you start with the pain, you are ending up with sadness. So painfulness as pain is there. That is what is painfulness as pain. Now when you come over here, before you get this hate, your mind is sick. Then that means you have this sloth and torpor scenario. And then the sloth and torpor is, that is the sickness of the mind and the sickness of the mental state. And because of that one, then you become sort of lethargic, therefore you will become neglectful. This negligence is a root of the delusion. So that person would go through this third path, that is the delusion path. Just to make a way for that particular thing, there is this one gatha in Dhammapada, 292nd gatha. In that gatha is saying, if someone is not doing what that person should be doing, then this effluence, taints, rancors will grow in that particular person. And this was sort of explained further in Petakopadesa, why we are becoming neglectful, not doing those things. It is to the abandoned skill state of the mind. Why do we abandon skill state of the mind? To have the company with the unskilled state of the mind. So one example is that, let us say that one is hearing that to a nearby temple, a reputed monk is coming, and that Dhamma sermon is going on. So maybe in the morning they hear that one, so the wife is telling the husband, and let us go to the temple today in the afternoon to hear this Dhamma sermon. And then husband is saying, you go today, I will stay at home. Why? Because a cricket match is going on. So if you go to the temple, you get the skill state of the mind, but you are discarding that skill state of the mind to have the company with the unskilled state of the mind. That is, that the ball is going, and then you are looking at that one and so on. And because of these things, then what you are getting is the defilements. Because if the other side is winning, then you have this envy coming up. And if your side is winning, then you have the greed. So what I am trying to say here, the person went through the second path, is now going to the third path. So here we have this neither agreeable nor disagreeable object. What sort of objects? There is neither agreeable nor disagreeable. Let us say that you would like to eat a particular type of jelly beans, but that particular variety is no longer available on the supermarket. There is some sort of substitute. So you buy that substitute, but you are not happy with it. So since it is jelly beans, you have not thrown away out of the house. But since it's not your variety, you are not eating either. So that sort of object is neither agreeable nor disagreeable. Or maybe you are sitting down on a chair. That chair is neither comfortable nor uncomfortable. So you just sit on that one. So that sort of object. From that one you get contact to be felt. as neither painful nor pleasant. And then you get the neither painful nor pleasant feeling, adukkama sukha vedana, neither pleasurable nor non-pleasurable. Then you approach with onlooking equanimity. The equanimity is always good, but this is onlooking equanimity. In the case of that chair, that his equanimity is not exceeding the chair. If he were to offer a comfortable chair, he would go and grab that one. If he were to offer an uncomfortable chair, I don't want it. So this is a onlooking equanimity. From that on, the delusion arises. From the delusion, that is moha, from that on you get cruelty thinking arises. So many people are asking, how come I get cruelty thinking from the delusion? And this is the most cruel path. To give you one example, let us say that you have to do an exam, 11 o'clock exam start. 9 o'clock, you start your, last 2 hours I am going to grab as much as I can to my mind. And then someone, maybe that person has studied these things before, or maybe a person who doesn't study at all, coming to you and then actually he is talking about an actress or someone, or about a film, the frivolous talks. Now because of his frivolous talks, you can't study. So this path is the most cruel path. Another example is that, let us say, you have to take alms food to the temple. By 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock you are cooking, and then, next door neighbor is coming to you and then talking rubbish. Frivolous talks about the other neighbors and so on. So because of that talk, you can't cook. So this is the most cruel path. So then you get the delusion-born fever arises. And then you get the constructed characteristic of passing arises. And that one is really nice to look at. You see, I said that the person who is in the mind-made body is like a water tank. No water is coming in, but whatever the water inside is actually going out. Now you are panicking because my money in the bank is vanishing. No money is coming in. Likewise. So then you can't tolerate this one. Then you go and grab a woman's body, get into the mother's womb. That is constructed characteristic of arising. What will happen? Then you are subject to aging. So painfulness in change arises. Let us say you are thinking, no, I am not going to go into mother's womb. So what is happening? Then the water in the tank is vanishing. The money in the bank is vanishing. So either way you can see it is passing. So that is the constructed characteristic of passing arises. Either way you lose. That's what it is. From that one what you get is painfulness in constructions arises. To understand this painfulness in constructions, I can tell you that I managed to go to Akanita Brahma realm because I pursue light. I did that meditation, perception of light. So, who told me to do this meditation was one of the divine beings. It's called God Vishnu. You might have heard that God Vishnu as a sort of a Hindu deva, but he is really not a Hindu deva. He is the Bodhisattva. And I heard this one from Akanita Brahma realm, that he has got only 3 more births. He is now in the 6th divine realm. After that one, he will be born in this among Subhakina Deva. That is the 3rd jhana realm. There will be 63 great yons of lifespan in that plane. And then coming to the Tusita divine realm, and then coming to the human world and become the Buddha. He is the one going to be the Buddha after the God Natha. And so Now, why I went to Akanita Brahmarelam, I went there to clarify this Dhamma. Dhamma has so many places to clarify and understand. So I went there for that purpose. Then one day, when I got a clarification, I was really happy. And then I had the gratitude, I managed to come over here because this God Vishnu was actually asking me to do this meditation about the perception of light. So I visited him out of gratitude. And when I went there, he said, let us go and see the hell. So that day he took me to a hell. That hell is burning. That, you see, it doesn't have any, wood pieces or houses or anything like that one. It's about 300, 600 degrees or so. And it is burning. You can imagine, meteors traveling nearby the sun. Because of the sun rays, it has got this higher temperature. In such a place, one is being born. That as soon as that person go there, that is vanishing, burnt at once. You just imagine wood stick you put into a red hot place, it is just shrink and vanish. Likewise, this person is vanishing at once. Nobody is pushing him there. Nobody is pulling over there. Now, that's one of the hells. So that's why you can't even count hells, because of some hells are destroying as well. And that person is again being born in the same place. And again dying. Again, repeatedly it is happening. And I could actually smell, the smell of that person's burning as well. So, when you kill your father, mother, some people are going to be born in such a place. And so, is that the one more painful? So, remember I said, I was born in hell and that I lived 2100 years without my left hand. So, which one is more painful? Some people tend to think, if you die at once, then it's okay. But it is not so, because, you see, although my left hand is not there, I had my right hand. And I had my eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. The other person lost everything. He constructed, lost everything at once. So, if it is painful to lose one hand, so multiply by 6, then you can see that person has got these 6 things, eye, ear, nose, all those things lost at once. So that is the painfulness in constructions. If you still do not understand, now let us say you have a daughter or a son. That son or daughter is saying, Mom, Dad, I am trying to learn, I can't learn. I am trying to do a job, I can't do that job. So you get this painfulness in constructions. So now you can see, yesterday we look at this 12 kind of suffering: birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, and so on. Now Buddha is summarizing that one in 3 words today. Buddha is saying there are 3 kinds of suffering. That is a painfulness in change, painfulness as pain, painfulness in constructions. So now we do have one meditation. This is your first meditation. For that one you are looking at the first line. Agreeable object, disagreeable object, neither agreeable nor disagreeable object. And then the third line, pleasant feeling, painful feeling, neither painful nor pleasant feeling. And then we go to the last line, 9th one, painfulness in change, painfulness as pain, painfulness in construction. Now let us think in terms of the objects. Is there any object in the world, a picture frame or something, that I can close my eyes and open my eyes and see, this particular thing is okay for me, I don't get any problems. If I say it is agreeable, then what I get is painfulness in change. If I say it is disagreeable object, then what I get is painfulness as pain. If I say it's neither agreeable nor disagreeable, then what I get is painfulness in constructions. So I am ending up with three kinds of suffering. So then I don't have any object to say that this one is fine. And then let's look at from the feeling point of view. If I say it is pleasurable feeling, then what I am ending up with painfulness in change. If I am saying it is not pleasurable, that is not pleasant, then what I am getting is ending up with painfulness as pain. If I say neither pleasurable nor non-pleasurable, then I am ending up with painfulness in constructions. So in that case, there isn't any feeling in the world that I can adhere to, saying that this one is fine. So, because I am getting three kinds of suffering over here. Buddha said this one. Buddha said whatever thing felt is included in the suffering. Buddha said in this particular meaning. Whatever the feeling, you are ending up with these three kinds of suffering. Yeah. So then I am lost, isn't it? Because I haven't got an object. Oh, I haven't got a feeling. So if it is the case, then for what purpose I came to the mother's womb? What is the point? Because I am not going to get an agreeable object. I am not going to get a feeling either. So I am ending up with suffering, three kinds of suffering. And for that matter, now you are thinking, what good they are for me then if I am going to be born somewhere else, beyond this earth? It is the same. Because there is no agreeable object, there is no an object, there is no feeling either. So you are kind of lost. So that is your first meditation. That is the first line, third line and the last line. And then for the second meditation, you go through this first column. The moment that you are going through mother's womb. Those two people are there with birth clothes, so that is the agreeable object. And contact to be felt as pleasant and pleasurable feeling. You approach with joy. You are happy to watch and see this one. And you see, after death, it's very hard to take these people out from that instance. Because, there are no ethics after death. No father, no mother, no police. You have a good excuse. I am here not to watch this one. I am here to be born. So, very hard. So, that is this, you approach with joy and then the lust arises. And then sensual desire, thinking arises. You want to do what they are doing. And you are burning with lust. So, as soon as that man get out of the woman's body, you go and grab hold of the woman's body, the constructed characteristic of arising, Utpada Sangata Lakkana. And then you are ending up with painfulness in change. You are subject to aging. So, then you would be thinking, is it befitting for me to do this one? Some people are sort of afraid, looking at this one because of there's a sort of a shame. You were thinking about father and a mother, and now you see it's a different story. It's not the father-mother scenario. So, that I had this particular thing before as well. One day I was teaching in Australia, and there were about children from sort of 7 years to 21 years. And then I was thinking in the morning, how can I teach them this one? And then I asked Sampati Mahaprabhu, he gave the idea, the truth has to be told. So, that the children are taking these things very well. They can meditate very, very well, if they actually put in their mind to. What happens if you ashamed of this one and then don't look at it? Then you do that shameless thing again. It would be better for you to leave out that particular scenario, ashamed of looking at it. Rather you look at it and then you take your decision. I am not going to do this sort of act after this birth. You can put a toffee if you want over here as an agreeable object and meditate. But I tell you, it is not good enough. Just imagine, when you are not hungry, you have eaten enough, and somebody is giving you, vade or toffee or something to you, and you are saying, no, I don't need it, I'm full, I don't want it, right? But let's say you are hungry, and then someone is actually offering you maybe a piece of that toffee or something, a little bit, then you are grabbing it. Why? Because you have a hunger and you want to maintain and so on. The person is going to this mother's womb, imagine, that person has not eaten for many days, many months, many years. So his thing is right, that I grab whatever thing it is possible. So that's how you are actually going to mother's womb. You see some sort of a yellowish color thing inside the mother's womb. The mind-made body see that one. As soon as it sees it, straight away it go and establish. The consciousness getting established inside that mother's womb. And there's no control. You might be thinking that, I was actually watching this one for the fun. And, but, as you see that yellowish type thing, and straight away it went and absorbed into the mother's womb. And it's a surprise. What a surprise. Now you might be thinking, I didn't want to come here. But now you don't have any choice. You are absorbed into this one. So the constructed characteristic of arising, you wouldn't understand, but if you put a toffee and sort of try to do that one. So use the best example, that is your moment that you are going to the mother's womb. So that is the second meditation. And there is a third meditation. For the third meditation, we are using this line over here. Lust-born fever, hate-born fever, the delusion-born fever. Ragaja parilaha, dvasaja parilaha, mohaja parilaha. Just focus on what is next to it, the one before that. Sensual desire thinking, ill will thinking and cruelty thinking. That means not having the right thought. This is the wrong thought, isn't it? Because of the wrong thought, we are burning with lust, burning with hate, burning with delusion. So that one, we are going to use another diagram. That diagram is in your folder. Remember, we discussed this one as a vehicle. Yesterday we put a couple over here in the body type of misapprehension as the seats, and then they are traveling, and then remember the thoughts are coming up to that person. So now you can see there's a belt marked over here. The physical nutriment, contact as nutriment, feeling, coveting and greed. For that particular belt, we have given a label, burning with lust. You are rotating this. This is like a belt in a vehicle. It is rotating, running. So that is burning with lust. Now, how do we match that onto our meditation path? Remember the first column of the diagram you were looking at a little while ago? That is the physical nutriment. That is the agreeable object. And then the second line, that is the contact to be felt as pleasant. This is contact as nutriment. That's the steering wheel, isn't it? And then here, the third one is the pleasurable feeling. So those three are here. So then we are running this one, so that we are burning with lust. And what happens when you run the belt of a vehicle for a long time? Then it will be worn out. That means aging, isn't it? So then the second belt starts. You can see this aging is included. See, there is a dotted line going through the contact, physical nutriment, contact as nutriment, feeling, and the hate is included, aging, burning with hate, ill will, and then we are coming to the physical nutriment. So here the second belt is now running. So that is burning with hate. So how are we going to meditate on that one? That is this, look at the second column of the diagram you are looking at. That is, the disagreeable object is the physical nutriment, that the contact to be felt as not pleasurable, that is this second one, and then the displeasure feeling. So those are the three things over here. So then we are running this belt. So burning with hate. Like my grandfather, he was burning with hate. He was asking, let me have the pleasure I used to have when I was eating, when I was young. And then there is another belt, now you can see. And going through all of them. And that belt is marked burning with delusion. That is the biggest belt. So now you are going to map that one to the third column of your diagram. That is the physical nutriment. Now that is neither agreeable nor disagreeable object. And then the contact to be felt as neither pleasurable nor non-pleasurable. And then neither pleasurable nor non-pleasurable feeling come to arise. So this is the belt you are running most of the time. And this belt is low. And then you see some sort of a cutlet or something. And then the first belt, it is taking off and it is running, burning with lust. And then your taste buds are gone because it's wearing out, like a belt is wearing out. Then you get the burning with hate belt, like my grandfather running it. So some people like to put a couple over here and then run the vehicle and then look at this burning with lust, burning with hate, and burning with delusion. As you can see, the feeling is common to all three belts. So those are the three meditations. So just to catch up with the first meditation, how do we do that one? We take this first line, the agreeable object, disagreeable object, neither agreeable nor disagreeable object. Third line, pleasant feeling, painful feeling, neither painful nor pleasant feeling. And then the last one, painfulness in change, painfulness as pain, painfulness in constructions. Now you think in terms of object. Is there any object in the world that I can adhere to, saying this is fine, I don't get any problems? When I say agreeable, then I am ending up with painfulness in change. If I am saying disagreeable, then I am ending up with painfulness as pain. When I say neither agreeable nor disagreeable, then I am ending up with painfulness in constructions. So there isn't any object that I can close my eyes or open my eyes and say this one is fine. And then we look at the feeling point of view. Is there any feeling that I can say this is fine, I can adhere to, that there is no problem? When I say it is pleasurable feeling, I am ending up with painfulness in change. When it is not pleasurable, that is a painful feeling, then I am ending up with painfulness as pain. When I say it is neither pleasurable nor non-pleasurable, then I am ending up with painfulness in constructions. So there is no feeling that I can adhere to. So then I am lost, because there is no agreeable object, there is no feeling. And then you would question, why would I come to this world? And for that matter, why would I go anywhere else in the world either? So that's the first one. The second one, you are looking at, the moment that you are going to mother's womb, and then you understand this constructed characteristic of arising, and then I am going to end up with painfulness in change. Is it befitting for me to do this one again? And that's the second one. Third meditation is lust-born fever, hate-born fever, delusion-born fever with the other diagram. So let us take 10 or 15 minutes for you to have a discussion, and then we will do the meditation.